Hi everybody, this is Tara Woodruff from CoachTaraWoodruff.com, and I'm going to warn you right now that this is a really important video, but there's going to be crackling in the sound. I've made this video over and over and over again. I cannot remove the crackling. So with that being said, stick around please. In this video we're going to discuss something that's very important to anybody building an organization in their network marketing company. This also can be applied to people that have jobs, because there is a political structure that you will recognize as well in this. But I'm going to keep the terminology towards network marketing. If you have any questions and you're in a job and you want to understand what I'm talking about in relation, if you don't get it, let me know. I will be happy to answer. First of all, though, before we get into the juice, I want to point out that today is an absolutely beautiful day, and I know the rest of the country has been jealous of Florida with the 80-degree weather. It's really been high 80s here in I'm north of Tampa, so I'm not South Florida. I'm middle Florida on the west coast, and it's been really warm. Today, though, on the other hand, it's getting a little bit chillier, nicer breeze. I can hear the chimes going. I'm looking at my bamboo, and I'm like, oh, I love it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day. So if you live in this direction, get outside, do something. I'm also excited to be making this video with this beautiful natural light. Look how gorgeous I look. Did my makeup today and everything, so I'm very happy. My hair's still crazy and I'm still in a t-shirt, but that's okay. Oh, I made a cup of coffee. I better get it. I need a sip. Well, anyway, what I want to talk today about is when it's time to assign leadership roles in your organization. Now, this can be whether you have a team of 3 or 30,000. This is super important that you keep your eyes on this and stay connected to your team. In network marketing, one of the beauties of it is that it's like a large mastermind. The larger your organization gets, the bigger the mastermind gets, the more talent that's brought into the organization relieves a lot of the pressure from you. Sometimes you may feel in the beginning when you're just getting started that you got to be everyone and everything. Or if you have an organization where you're just like, oh, not so sure what's going on above you, and you really want to take care of everything. I know I did this in Visalis. I got to a point where I was just like, I have to be it all. Because that's how I felt. And that was the team I was in. That's what it was. And what it did for me was, it taught me a lot. But it hurt my business initially because I was trying to wear too many hats. So I learned that to focus on what I'm good at and sharpen those skills and remove the fear and allow myself to be the leader that I am and help my people be directed to the people that do know what they're talking about, that do have their best interest, or my best interest, and our best interest at heart. And, that I can do that without having a lot of fear. Sometimes that means you gotta move away from who you're with. Sometimes that's what that means. I know in my company before, I had a lot of issues with that. I had lies and deception and fakeness and things that I didn't want to expose anybody to. So when I finally grew up to the point that I understood that it was irresponsible of me to bring anyone into that organization and that I actually had to make a change, I did. One thing, this is what I want you to be aware of, guys. When you are running an organization and you find a person or a couple or a few people, whatever it is, that present themselves in a leadership manner, but really what is suiting you about them the most is the amount of money they spend, the amount of people they bring in, and how much they kiss your ass. Now, those are all very important things. You want someone that's going to be nice to you. You want someone that's going to recruit. And you want somebody to spend some money. You do. But those 3 things, I'm going to give you these 3 fingers. Those 3 things are right now feelings. They're in this total moment right now. In network marketing, we think about residual long-term income. Now, though those things are great for right this minute and this month, what's it going to mean for you if they're missing these three things? And these three things are retention, true leadership, and ethics. So if they're great at recruiting, they're great at spending their money on your shit, and they are really good at kissing your ass, but they don't have these three, what does that mean? That the entire organization that you have, if you continually put them in positions of power within your organization, collapses. Because what it means to the people in your organization is that you think that what they are or that person is acceptable. You're going to teach the brand new people how to do it wrong by allowing those people to take control of that or that person. And you're going to lose. I've seen really people that I've looked up to that are incredible leaders leave major roles in their organization to people that didn't deserve it. So, and I think what it is, it's got to be this, that they're not looking at the long term, they're looking at the right now. And even at the right now, I'm watching, I don't see the right now being really exciting outside the fact that somebody might be kissing someone's ass pretty hard. Or they got something on you, or maybe something like that. When it's time for you to share your leadership, make sure you're sharing it with somebody that you can trust with it. I'm not talking about that you have to stuff them down and not allow them to brand themselves. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is don't just leave it to them. Participate. Pay attention. When you have people in your organization coming to you, and it's not just a bitch fest, it's a real complaint, you might want to pay attention. And if that real complaint to you doesn't seem valid, then maybe you want to look into those other three. Who's staying? Why are they staying? Maybe you want to check out retention rates. Let me see. I'm going to give you an example. One of my girls. She's one of my girls. She's awesome, a leader in her own right, phenomenal. She wanted to start promoting her business, doing more live events. I particularly am no expert at live events. Like I said, I was in Visalis. I had 473,222 million challenge parties in which 0 people showed up in physical form. 0 people came to the house. 0 people came to the park. 0 people came to the hotel. 0 people showed up. No one came. And it's not that I didn't have the skills to market the event or didn't have the skills to hold the event. Whatever happened is I never got experience in the event and having successful events. So I'm not the one to talk to about, if you want to find out the steps you take and what you do in an event, I can tell you that. Anybody can. You can read that in a book. But when it comes to conducting a successful event in which people actually show, you got to be ready for a lot of people not to show, and then you've got to build momentum in your event. And just like any other part of marketing, being successful at events is an evolving marketing technique. A technique, a concept, not a tactic. You have to grow with that technique as it changes in your business. Okay? So my girl wanted to do events, and she posted in a team group. I really need some advice on events. I said, holla at your girl, beep, beep. I know she's good at events because I know that they have so many people showing up every week that they can no longer hold the events at their house because their neighbors are pissed off about the cars down the street, that they actually have to rent a venue outside of their place that has a conferencing center so that they can hold the events that they hold every single week, where 50 to 100 people show every single week. That if I was going to direct you to someone that knew what they were talking about with events, I would direct you to the person that is currently holding events and is successful at events and is evolving with their events in order to keep it fresh in their marketing toolkit. So I suggested, and I tagged the person in the suggestion. And of course they're like, what's up? That's what we'll talk. And then all of a sudden, here comes little Miss So-and-so. Well, why didn't you ask me about that? I could tell you that, and I've done events before and I'm really successful at them. Interesting. I don't think so. You're not holding events. No one's showing up when you do show up at an event. As a matter of fact, the leader showed up in your town and you were hosting an event. You were there at the event with them. And who did you bring to that event of your people? Did you even get anybody to the event somebody else was having? No. So if I was to suggest that my personal team member, were to go to somebody for advice and true insight on how to host a successful live event to promote their business, you're not the one I'd send them to. Destroy the whole situation. I didn't say that out loud. I'm telling you this. Destroy the whole situation, because now, all of a sudden, the person that I was referring to my personal team was kind of nervous about stepping on those other persons that had no idea what they're talking about toes. Also, my personal team now all of a sudden had to readjust how they approached it and was trying to do it in a group manner where both the person that doesn't know what they're talking about and the person that does know what they're talking about get on the phone together with her. Guess what happened? No one got the education. My girl didn't learn from the one that was good at it anything that would help her, because the other person came in and stuffed the whole thing. If you've got somebody like that in your organization that acts out of fear and jealousy when your people are looking to learn something and you're directing them as their personal sponsor to someone that you know does know what the hell's going on with that particular avenue, you don't want that other person stepping on toes. It's stupid. And when you take a closer look, if you're actually involved with your organization and you're watching, you should have saw that and you should have stopped that. When you have a group of people come to you together to put down a law that they're not going to tolerate from a person or people, you don't just say, oh, okay, and then continue to edify the one that nobody wants to do business with. You need to take a look at what's going on with that person or those people and decide for yourself if that's really the best interest in your long-term residual income is in maintaining those people in a position of power in your organization. Because if you can't see past that, then you're not interested in long-term residual income. You're interested in quick buck. Because, yeah, somebody may be good at recruiting initially, but although I'm not seeing evidence of that, they're really good at lying, calling themselves or herself or himself a six-figure earner when they're not. Saying things like, I get 3,000 leads from one capture page when you know it's a lie. You know, what part is it that makes you hold on to them? You know, you want to be the person that's strong enough in your organization to know when someone's full of shit and they're a snake and you need to put them in their place. You certainly don't continue to hold team calls or anything like that and edify them and direct people to them in their training, because their training is useless. Their training is tactics. They have not developed any concepts. They have tactics. They're snakes. They would steal your people as fast as, and they've actually said it out loud. I enroll people that my upline had in their organization all the time because they prefer to do business with me. Sounds like a snake to me. Yeah, I just call them like I see them. This might not be the most popular video with some people, and some people might have the balls to say this shit. I have nothing to lose. Okay? What I'm building is a legacy team that's going to help other people build legacy residual incomes. And we're going to be in business forever. And I'm going to have partners forever. I'm not going to have fly-by-night people. People that use tactics, that are full of shit, that pretend they're authentic when in fact they're not, that call law of attraction and goodness and love and all that shit when that's not who they are. When in reality they just as soon stab you in your Achilles heel as it would be your friend. So, keep your eyes on that kind of stuff. As your team grows, it's going to get harder to keep your eyes everywhere. I'm not saying you got to be it all. You don't. But you have to be strong enough as a leader to recognize when somebody is not good for your organization. Because all of a sudden, one day, it all goes away. Because there's only so much you can do to fire one person in your team. I don't go to that person anymore. I've deleted and blocked them. I don't respond to them. I don't do anything with them. And it's another thing when the entire team leader continually edifies somebody that isn't worth a 5-minute phone call. What that says is that you are who you hang out with, and if they are, then who are you? So your ethics are very important in your organization. Your posture is extremely important. What you make, that's not really important because it's nobody's business. If you've got somebody that is just filling all the squares in your site and you want to give them a leadership role, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you need to look at is month to month. Are they just willing to jump into everything you're willing to jump into? Or are they really building a team? Are they really focusing on promoting the business that you actually own? Or are they just focused on enrolling whoever they can, throwing it against the wall and see who sticks? That's not how network marketing is done, not in a long-term residual income kind of way. Throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. That's what they do in play school. So learn to recognize the professionals in your industry. I totally suggest that you give the next person that you bring into your organization the book GoPro. I'm going to put the link down here. My Amazon affiliate link, as a matter of fact. You get them the book GoPro, and you get them jab, 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 right hook immediately, and you tell them to read it. If they disagree with GoPro, okay, that's cool. Don't put them in a position of leadership because they don't belong there. They don't belong there. If the person that you want to put in a position of leadership likes to use old school beat 'em up tactics to close people, don't put them in a position of leadership. They can go ahead and use that on themselves. If they're not willing to learn how to be a decent human being, or if they don't want to learn how to be a decent salesperson, if they don't want to learn how to, it's bullshit. If you've got somebody that refuses to share leadership within your organization, you don't want them there because they don't even think you're worth it. They think they need to have it all. I know this because I've been that person. I've been the person that said, I'm not sharing any of the leadership with anybody because I don't think anybody else deserves it, or I'm jealous, or I want to keep my people coming to me. A true leader doesn't do that. A true leader shares responsibility with people that deserve it. They don't just keep kissing the ass of someone that's kissing their ass. That's not leadership. That's high school. This is Coach Tara Woodruff coming to you from CoachTaraWoodruff.com. Please visit the link below and go ahead and get my free bonus on my website, alright? It's awesome. I love you all. Peace.